Okay, we're going to start solving equations again. Again, remember your variable needs to be by itself, so you find your variable and say, how can we get rid of a negative 4? We could add positive 4 to each side. You do that, you're going to get x equals, the signs are different, so you subtract, and keep the sign of the bigger number, negative 13. So these really test equations as well as your negative number rules. And here are variables on the right, so we have to get rid of this 6, so we're going to subtract 6 from each side. And that gives you negative 14 because of the add the opposite equals negative x. Well, we're not done because we don't want negative x, so you can really think of having a negative 1 in front of there. So you divide by negative 1 and you're going to get positive 14 equal x. Number 3, again, it's a fraction problem, but just say what's the opposite of subtract? Add 1/5. So show that step. You don't have to know anything about fractions in order to write that step. But now, yes, you do have to remember in adding fractions, we must come up with a common denominator. Well, 5 and 3 will both go into 15. Here we say, what do we do to 3 to get 15? Multiply by 5, so we have to do the same thing to the numerator. Right here, that would make that 10. What do you do to this 5 to get 15? Multiply by 3, so 3 times 1 is 3. Remember, we are adding, so it would be 13/15. The opposite of multiply by negative 7 would be divide by negative 7. Signs are different, so it's going to be negative 8. So just a basic problem there using your negative number rules. Here we want to get the variable by itself, so we need to get rid of the 3/4, so we need to multiply by 4 over 3. Here everything will cancel. Get x equals, over here when you cancel, you're going to get a negative 12. Here we want to add 5 first. Some of you forget this step. Do anything adding or subtracting first in almost every case. You're left with x over negative 4 equals 11. The opposite of divide by negative 4 would be multiply by negative 4. Get x equals negative 44. This is the problem where we do have to multiply first. There's not very many of these, but when it's the whole thing being divided, that's kind of your clue. But these 3's just cancel, leaving you 2x minus 6 equal negative 6. Now it's a basic problem, just add 6 to each side. Negative 6 plus 6 would be 0. Divide by 2, and we get x equal 0. Find two consecutive integers, so the consecutive means they're one right after the other. So if x is my first integer, what's the one right after x? X plus 1 would be my second integer. Their sum, so x plus 1 equal, and I didn't pick a bigger number this time, so you might not be able to figure it out right off the top of your head. 1x plus 1x would be 2x plus 1 equal 3,127. I'm going to kind of come way up here. So I need to then subtract 1 from each side. I get 2x equals 3,126. I would need to divide by 2, and then when I do that, and this is one I'd probably let you use a calculator on, you're going to get 1,563. So that's x, so what's the other one? X plus 1 would be the other one, 1,564.